that this is not licensed to Archie. This is not licensed to Sega. This is not published by Archie. This is not published by Sega. This is not promoted by Archie. This is not promoted by Sega. This is a free deal. If it was promoted, published by any of those two, people would be charged money. For Chapter 1, people would be charged maybe 99 cents, if not $1.99. If they had any indication for it, if they had any association with it. They had any association with it whatsoever. They had any association with it whatsoever. They had any association with it whatsoever. They'd be charging $1, if not $1.99 for a chapter. But they don't, and it's free because it's not associated with them. It's kind of like an NXT. It's like some of the men and women in NXT right now. Come on. Yeah, my dog's just coming in the rain, so she's going cuckoo now. But anyway, and that's my dog in the background, if you're wondering. But anyway, it has nothing to do with them. Like I said, it's like in NXT. There's a lot of men and women right now in NXT that have contracts, but these contracts state they could still compete on the indies. They're not full contracts yet. It's like with Samoa Joe and James Storm. When Samoa Joe came in, his contract stated that he had signed that he could still finish up his indie dates. He could still compete on the indies until he was done, while at the same time being part of NXT. James Storm is probably getting the same thing, where he could finish up his indie dates and still compete in NXT. You see, even guys like Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano out of Evolve, these out of Evolve, Ring of Honor, TNA, and not Ring of Honor, PWG, whatever, maybe even TNA, who knows. Here are men and women that are going up to NXT, may get paid to do a few appearances before they sign a full contract, but at the same time, by doing those, being part of those agreements to do those appearances, they can still compete. They can still compete on the indies, and that's my dog. She's going crazy. They can still compete on the indies, and have a little bit more freedom. They can still do that. They can still, again, that's my dog, she's going crazy. For some odd reason, when she goes out in the water or goes in the rain, she goes nuts. But anyway, those men and women, they compete. They have the kind of contracts that let them do that until the time comes, until the agreement on those contracts and on those pay appearance contracts are up, and they can compete full-time for NXT. That's basically sort of what Ian Flynn is in. He's in a situation that he's not contractually obligated to Archie Comics. And again, I apologize for my dog, she's going crazy. But like I said, he's not contractually obligated to Archie Comics to work with them and only them. He's still an independent guy. Like I was trying to say while my dog was going crazy there, it's kind of like the men and women that come into NXT right now. Some of them have contracts or agreements that allow them to still compete on the indies, but they can also come in and compete with NXT and maybe eventually get that full-time contract to be exclusive to WWE and NXT. But while they're doing that, the agreements that they sign say, hey, you can still finish this up, and when the time is right, we'll have the contract set ready for you to sign if you want to come on full-time. And again, that's, like I said, that's sort of what Ian's in right now. That's the situation he's in right now. He's not contractually obligated exclusively to Archie Comics. He, like many other writers out there, can write for other publishers. I'm sure he's been contacted by Image. I'm sure he's been contacted by IDW, Marvel, DC, some other independent independent publishers to come write for them. So to me, this whole situation with Ian Flynn, or with Ken Penders I should say, this whole situation is complete BS. You know, he says that Ian Flynn doesn't know much as much as he should. Okay, maybe he's not the most experienced comic book writer in the world. The guy's been at it for what, 9 years, going on a decade now? So I think in that time he pretty much has an idea, you know, in a grasp, I should say, on how things are done. I think he's got a pretty much good idea. All right? So, with that said, to me, what's going on here just doesn't make any sense, especially on Ken Penders' part. Again, some might see it from his opinions, from what his opinions are on his thought process, and they might say, okay, look, maybe he's trying to help Ian Flynn not get into trouble because he's mentioning these characters by name. And again, it goes back to what I said. If that was part of the settlement that nobody knew the details of, why didn't they tell Ian Flynn or anybody else? Why didn't they tell Ian Flynn if he got the okay from them to do Lost Hedgehog Tales for the fans? Why didn't they say that to him? That's what I want to know. But honestly, that's all I'm going to say right now on this whole situation. You guys let me know what you think down below. Comment if you want, and I'll talk to y'all later.